Hey, I'm Skip Slusher, and this is, who is this? This is Bugsy. And I'm going to talk a little bit about how to ride the sitting trot and make it comfortable. Now, we picked Bugsy because he's got a pretty rough trot, and so to sit his trot is no small feat. But it'll really show you, the mechanics of how to do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to fight Mother Nature. Trot is, there's a little up and down movement, and I'm going to work with that. Instead of trying to absorb it scooping like this, I'm going to get light on my feet and let him lift me and go down. So my hips are going to go where he goes. If his front comes up, my hips come up. If his front goes down, my hips come down. Same thing as riding a lope. I let the horse do the work. I just kind of stay out of their way and stay connected. So first thing you got to have is pretty loose hips. If I'm stiff in my upper body or my lower body, it's going to, or if I have a lot of weight in my feet, all of those things contribute to lift me out of the saddle. So I want to be pretty light in the feet and really loose here. Because if my upper body and my lower body are connected, this is all stiff, this is all full of tension, I can't absorb what he's gonna throw at me. So let's pick up our trot. That was pretty lungy, but you can see how bouncy he is. I mean, if I get any tension in my hips, I come out. If I push down in my stirrups, I come out. So I'm pretty light in my feet, and I'm just letting my hip come up and under me. So it's the action's up here versus underneath. I'm not scooping. That's going to encourage him to go faster and get on his front feet, which will make this an even rougher ride. Now he's kind of motoring, which makes this even harder trot to ride. If I want him to slow down, I'm just going to get my rhythm a little behind his and ask him to slow down. Now this is a much easier trot to ride, but I'm really loose here, I'm loose up here, I'm not pushing in my stirrups, and my hips can just handle all of that impact from him. So again, too much weight in my feet bounces me out, and I'm not pretending that that's really what happens. If I tense up my hip, I bounce out. If I grip with my thighs, I bounce out. So I want all the work to happen with loose hips. And it's not even work, it's the more relaxed I can be, the more in unison with my horse I am. And the more he doesn't throw me out. Now if I'm relaxed, I can do things here. I can get his nose with my leg. I can push him with my outside leg into a turn because I'm balanced. I didn't lose my balance point. If I was stiff, too much weight in my feet, in my stirrups, stiff here, stiff anywhere, then I'm coming out. I'd lose all control because I'm trying to regain balance all the time versus starting balance and have the ability to do stuff. Now, his trot is pretty rough because he tends to push his weight forward onto his front feet. So if they're paddling from the front and they don't have that kind of nice shape to them, that self-carriage, that's the hardest trot in the world to ride. So because he's already up front, my fix for that, I'm going to get him to step under in his hind. This makes him, you see his head coming down? That's because he's reaching forward from the back. And so now his weight's already shifted back because he can't step under here and bend his ribs if he's all up here. I mean, he probably could, but it's hard. So let's see if that helped us. He's still chargy. So I'm gonna put my rhythm behind him a little. And right there, that's a nice little trot. Easier to ride. He's carrying me here versus up front. That's way easier trot to ride right there. So, just that little bending exercise moved his balance point onto his midsection, onto his hind is now doing the impulsion. His front's not paddling, he's not pulling much from here. And if they speed up in the trot, that's a sure sign they're using this muscle, the front end, quite a bit. If they can balance out and do that little slow, kind of nice, easy trot, that's a good sign they're balanced and their impulsion's coming from the back. So, little way to ride the sitting trot. And if you feel the telltale signs of the front are speeding up in the trot, really bouncy trot, those are two signs, head up. Those are signs that they're up here pulling versus back there. Once you get them back, you can sit almost any horse doing that trot. If you like any of this info, go ahead and subscribe.